Austin moving forward this morning with plans to fund a $1.2 billion expansion. This is out at the Austin Convention Center.
All right, Tom, but let's talk about bad timing here. Less than a year after approving that expansion, enter COVID-19. The pandemic has not only shuttered every convention since mid-March, it's also slashed the expansion's primary new funding source, hotel occupancy taxes. Kendi Rodriguez checked in with the city leaders to learn where the process stands.
Conferences, sporting events, and conventions once filled the Austin Convention Center's calendar. Now it sits empty, on standby as a makeshift hospital. But city leaders say they'll move forward with plans for expansion. When? Well, that's the question.
There are far more unknowns than knowns in what the future is going to hold.
Councilmember Jimmy Flanagan says council does not have plans to make any decisions on the convention center's expansion anytime soon. Right now, the focus is COVID-19. Last year, the city approved a 2% increase in the hotel occupancy tax, money they specifically set aside for the expansion. But now, because of the pandemic, the city estimates that money dropped by 30%. And they expect a slow recovery. Flanagan says despite the current pandemic needs, the earmarked HOP money can only be used for the expansion.
It is still a necessary and valuable act, and it really doesn't take away from anything else because of the way state law is written about hotel tax collections.
But when will the convention center even see crowds again? Flanagan isn't sure, but he's hopeful.
I don't have how many years it will take. I don't have how many months it will take. But I do believe that once we get through a pandemic, that recovery will be swift.
Folks at the Austin Convention Center department say they'll present their plan to council sometime later this year. But again, no specific timeline and no word on when construction could even start. Back to you.
Thank you, Candy. We also checked in about the expansion project at the airport. The city tells us that a decrease in air travel could push back its project. The city says it's still committed, though, to its 2040 master plan, but they could spread out some of those projects.